blazer, then her skirt, while they were backstage during Trump's speech. She told you about this?
I trust her implicitly. I remember about 2 years ago her alluding to something, and I don't want to misrepresent the words either. He was creepy or handsy with me. But to put it into bigger context, those of us who were working the West Wing at that time knew that Rudy Giuliani was a wild card. He was somebody who was unpredictable. Being careful in how I say this, there were concerns. I don't know if they're true that he would come to the White House campus inebriated. So that was something that even up to the former president's level, there would be concerns. Don't let him do television hits from the White House lawn. Be cautious about what meetings he's in. And frankly, the pattern of behavior makes sense to me. It doesn't surprise me. It's horrifying. It does not make it acceptable. And just big picture, this is such a historic, horrifying bad moment for our country, this rally that's happening on the Ellipse, the attempt to overthrow the election. And in that moment, this is also happening. I don't think you can really fully process how significant that is, but I believe her implicitly.
It's layers upon layers here. And just so people understand, I mean, this idea that Rudy Giuliani was inebriated has come up before. On the night of the election, for example, that's been reported. But had you ever witnessed Giuliani doing inappropriate things? Other women being concerned about being around him yourself,
My
perhaps?
sense with Giuliani was I didn't witness so much probably the sexual harassment. It was just there was a sense that he was not in control of himself, that he was somebody who was liable to say anything, to do anything. And there was a sense among women in the White House that you didn't want to be around him. So I think there may have been sort of that almost unspoken idea of like, there's something off here. You don't want to be near him. And by the way, the former president knew it, even though they've been friends for many years. And there's these times that they're close. He obviously called him when his White House counsel gave him the counsel he did not want. He recognized that Rudy Giuliani was not the man he was 20, 30 years ago. He recognized and openly talked about the fact that he had really had become debilitated from who he previously was.
The Giuliani spokesperson and political advisor gave this statement about the allegations, saying it's fair to ask Cassidy Hutchinson why she is just now coming out with these allegations from 2.5 years ago as part of the marketing campaign for her upcoming book release. This is a disgusting